Collins. Oh my goodness, the sun is not playing. I'm absolutely loving it. How are you all doing? Listen, you got to protect yourself. Protect your mental health, protect your physical and your mental health. Because I'm telling you, small minded people have a lot of issues, y'all. And I think we're living in a world where people just take everything up. In the Caribbean, we would say on top of their heads. They would just take everything on, and it's an issue, and they have a problem with it. And if they have a problem, everyone else should. So I think I want to talk a little bit about that today. I want to talk a little bit about how we can not allow other people's discomfort and what they may think, them just being petty. There's just a lot of pettiness going on in this world today. We see it, on the internet. People that we, we bought their music or might have purchased their books or whichever way. And every little thing, it just seems to be a pettiness. But I'll say this, that there is so much going on in the world that you may just want to protect your space. I did a recent video on protect this one thing now. And it's something that one has to remind oneself of constantly. It's just like, hey, I'm going to protect my peace. Yeah, I am going to protect my health because it is so worth it. It is so worth it. It's worth, taking those moments by yourself and choosing your battles wisely and choosing those, the battle. I would say that much. One of the things too, when we make an effort to protect our health and our wellness and take care of ourselves, you're doing your body a favor. You're doing your mind, your body, your soul, and your spirit a huge favor, because when you get stressed out over things that you have no control over, when you get stressed out on things you have no control over, that affects you. It affects your whole system. People will say, oh, I might not be worried about something, but the next thing, there goes your blood pressure. It goes up because you're worried about something that you have no control over. And you internalize it. When you start to internalize stress, when you start to internalize other people's issues, it takes a toll on your body. And so when we're talking about the stress, when we're talking about, the high cortisol level, when you take on other people's issues, it's so, and Gray, hey, what's up? It affects you. It affects your sleep. You're not able to sleep. You're thinking about it. It affects your body. Like I said, the blood pressure, then your blood sugar goes high just because of pettiness, just because of people who have issues and they want to be the person. So be it. So be it. And I will say this to you, if you are in the place, in the space, or you're working in an environment where it feels toxic, you're going to have to make that decision. Moon, hey, you're going to have to make that decision and say, you know what? I am not going to allow toxic people to take from me. Yes, toxic people will make you sick. Guys, listen to me. Let me tell you, as this sun is shining on all this beautiful melanin here, toxic people will make you sick. How do I know that? Been in this business in healthcare for more than, going on 30 years, guys. And I've seen people come in. I've seen people come in who were on the job, who got upset. They got angry with someone. They decided to respond and pretty much blew a gasket, right? And they've ended up in the emergency room. They've ended up in my stretcher. Ended up, having to make decisions really quick based on what happened. Like, what happened? What made you so upset? So I'm going to say this to you. If you are working in places and spaces with people, even in these internet streets, guys, there are little shades being thrown here and there and so forth and so on it happens. And you don't know if it's you. Listen, I don't even have time for that. I got so many other things going on in my life. But I hear people who have spoken about it. But I am telling you, show up in this space and have fun with it. Show up in the space and have fun with it, because you don't want to add another thing that's going to add stress to your life. Um, you know, a lot of us, I remember even with I always talk about, being a YouTuber and with the contents and trying to get the hours and the different time zones. Or if I was traveling in a different time zone. So that would throw my sleep off, or I'd sleep and I'm early, or I'm studying, or doing something else. But if I'm intentional to say I'm going to stress myself out, getting these few hours, it will take a toll. So that's one thing that can take a toll on you. So even if you're over here, I still want to tell people to take care of themselves, because you are so worth it. Ariana, yeah, you are so worth taking care of you, because all that stress in your body, once it's internalized, it turns into other things that may not be so good. One of the things, too, I also like to talk about is to be an advocate. Be an advocate for yourself. Be an advocate for other people, other family members, because like I said, there's so much going on in the world. Maybe some of you are in parts of the world right now that may seem if it's in turmoil, and the stress from it, the stress of me having friends in different parts of the world, or people that I know, hoping that they're okay, places that I've visited, right? Hoping that they are okay. And so, I talk about that too, because even sometimes that secondhand stress, if there's any such thing, because you're worrying about other people, right? You're worrying about other people on how to go live. You want to know how to go live? Just press the button. Just press the button, turn it on, right? So I was talking about also being an advocate for yourself, for your health, your wellness, and your peace of mind. Being an advocate for other family members. Sometimes too, when you have someone in the hospital and there are decisions that needs to be made, and that person may not be up to par at the moment, with all the questions and everything that's going on. So that's how you can end up being an advocate for someone else. You can also be an advocate for other people who are here, who are maybe pushing themselves to the limit. You can be an advocate for them and say, hey, it's okay to take a break. Sometimes it's okay to take a break. It's okay to take a break from work. It's okay to take a break from doing all this content. I mean, you are worth just taking that moment to be a breather, because let me tell you, it will do so much good for your wellness. And so that's why too, sometimes too, I take moments. I'm an advocate for myself. I take moments, I go and walk. What do you do when you feel overwhelmed? What do you do when you feel as if all the pettiness and everything else that's going on in the world, everything else is getting to you? What do you do? For me, it's like to come and sit in the sun. Actually, outside is best, because I'm in the car, right? And it's coming through the glass window, but you want to go outside and you want to get that fresh air and the sunlight. It does so much for you, and you breathe through it, and you see those things are small. Those things are so small. They're not worth your time. They're not worth your energy. And some of them, it's not even worth your resources, because here you're saying that, you know what, I'm going to take better care of me. I am going to show up for me. I'm going to advocate for me, because my health and my wellness, it comes first. And I just wanted to share that, just had to get that off my chest a little bit. Yeah. We're worth taking care of ourselves. We're worth showing up for us and being an advocate. You got to be an advocate for you first. Don't let the small stuff and sweating all the small stuff, because it's like I'm saying, it's not easy, whether it's personally, professionally, or even with, like I said, it could be with relationships, anything that sometimes it becomes too much. And And also people are saying things, I may even do a whole nother video about that, because there's some things that went down here on these internet streets, and they're working themselves out. But folks, be careful. Be careful what people put in your ear. Be careful. They say, to whom you speak, of whom you speak, and when and where you speak. Be careful of that, because it has caused a lot of rift. We're seeing that what we say and how we show up. And like I said, I've seen it right here on these internet streets, right? A lot of things are going on. You're at work, yeah. A lot of things are happening, and it's causing a lot of sadness to people, because folks are just a little bit reckless or power hungry, and it's not even necessary, guys. And you'll find that on the job too. You'll find people, that's one of the things too. You'll find that there are people who are competing with you and you're not even competing with them. It happens. So yeah, guys, you just gotta say, is it worth it? Is it worth that? Is it worth it? Well, I got my stuff here. I got things to do. I got things. Like when I say I have things to do, guys. And I'm excited about this new season. Hey, thanks to Wisdom Sparks. She did an amazing video. And one of them is, she's talking about Wisdom Sparks motivation. Agree, go check her out. She did an amazing video about moving into a new version, a new space, and leaving all of the negative. That's my girl. I always got to big her up. I have some amazing people that have really just shown a lot of love, and their spiritual discernment. Yeah, go check her out. Wisdom Sparks Motivation. And she was just talking about when the old habits, the old things come. Some people just need to just throw off the old stuff and go to the new. Get ready for it, because when you go back to all the old ways of being and doing things and speaking, it doesn't do you any good. So it's always good that you listen to good people. And I love people who are just spiritually there. You connect with them. You connect with them in an amazing way. So I say big up to the people who are out here, who are putting the word that it's pure, it's here on these streets, these YouTube streets. They're not trying to be like anybody else. They're being themselves. And that's one of the things too. It's, what, there's so much joy and peace in being you. You don't have to try and be like anybody else. I was on it's at the time of this recording here, it's a Sunday, and I went on a prayer service with It's Marvella. I really enjoyed it. She does a Zoom. It would be 12 noon p.m. Eastern time, my time, New York time, if you think of it. And it was just so good to know that there are people, that's a beautiful thing. And people need to be comfortable with that you can connect with amazing people right here on YouTube. Some of you go, my latest video, if you've checked it out already, the one thing that you need to protect, go ahead and check that out. That's the one thing I say, once you protect that, it will even get under people's skin. Go watch that video. It's my most recent video. It's called The One Thing. Protect this one thing. There's a reason why it's for those who hear it. And you'll see the people who make the comment there. Listen, it's not for everybody, but there's a reason why it's there. And it's the reason why the people who are drawn to it, they are saying right now, they don't care about any pettiness. They don't care if you're the king or queen of pettiness. They are doing this one thing. They are protecting this one thing. Yeah. They're protecting that one thing. Thank you, Gray. I know I haven't seen you much, but I've got a lot of stuff that I'm building, that I'm moving into this new season and ready to, I just had to say, okay. Sometimes when you're moving into a new season, it's not failure. It's just like, hey, maybe this thing was, you need to kind of reposition. You may have to reposition, whether it's school, maybe you're taking too many courses, or it's on the job, and you may have to say, you know what, enough is enough. This is no longer for me. Maybe it's business and you may need to do things a little bit different. Yeah, and it's worth that. So whenever I come into this space, I am going to drop some gems for those of you to know that it is not just about the watch hours and everything else, because I always talk about that. I could just make this whole channel about, medicine and wellness and all of those things, but it's a mixture, and there's a reason why I wanted to talk about life, because it's very much, about us, what we do. Everything that we do, it makes a difference. Everything that we say, even the words that we think. And so that's why I say to people, be careful when people, it's just not everything is for your ears. Everything is not for you. And that's why you got to protect this one thing. And when you are spiritually aligned, I am telling you, it is going to aggravate some folks. It's going to go under their skin, and you're not even saying anything to them. If you've ever experienced that, you're just being you. You're just being you, and they don't know why people are drawn to you. Sometimes, guys, let me just be real about this. And why I'm saying is to protect yourself, protect your health. It's important, because there are people who won't understand the grace that's upon you. They may not understand the favor that's upon you, and you're living in your own world. You're going about your business, but sometimes too, they may even want to discredit who you are. You got to call a spade, y'all. There are just some folks, they just want to discredit you. It doesn't matter how nice you are. It doesn't matter how much you want to be liked. It doesn't matter how, it's just who they are. There are just some folks who will just show their, what do they say? A leopard will never change its spots. It's just who they are. And I had to learn to, like, you know what? Everybody's not going to like you. Everybody's not going to be happy for you. There are people that will go out of their way to discredit you. They really will, because they don't understand that grace and that favor that's upon you. And it's not given by man. Come on now. I was about to jump off. If I'm talking something, and if you're getting what I'm putting down, go ahead. Drop a 1 in here, whether it's on the recording or it's live. There's some folks who won't understand it. And it will take you months and maybe even years or decades trying to figure it out. Like, what did I do? What is it that I might have done that I'm just being so nice and they don't like it? It's just them. It has nothing to do with you. What people think about you, it's none of your business. What people think about you, it is absolutely none of your business. So I wanted to share that. My goodness. Let me see if I can, let's slow down this lighting some. It is, I'm going to tell y'all, it is, it's crazy. Just give me a second here. It is hot. Now, well, the sun is shining. As they would say, the sun is shining, the weather is sweet. Bob Marley would say, sun is shining, the weather is sweet. Makes you want to move your dancing feet. Yoga with Goga. Yoga with Goga, how are you? Oh man, this is one of the nicest people on these YouTube streets. One of the most, look at the glow, right? I feel like I'm in Kenya. Let me tell you, Yoga with Goga is one of the realest people here on YouTube. Kind, he shares, he doesn't throw shades. You want to learn something. I mean, Goga, it's just, I'm so grateful for you, because when I bumped into you, you've taught all of us so much, and I really appreciate, what you do. I don't even know if my video is buffering. I just deleted a whole bunch of stuff. I shut down apps. I don't know, but I may have to do a video for this. But that's what I'm saying. Find yourself in communities with good people who want to see other people, who truly want to see other people win, right? Yeah, that's the thing. That's how I look at it. And the thing about it, when you teach others, you're not losing anything. I once had somebody said to me, how do you share so much information? You give all this information for free. Because I said, I got to make room for more. When you go out, other stuff comes in. You meet other people. You'll meet great people, and that's what I've been able to do in these YouTube streets. So yeah, that's what I'm saying, guys. Just protect that thing. Watch that one video. Go and watch it. It's not for everybody. Many are called, but the chosen are few, right? So it's for you. And if it's for you, it's going to land where it needs to. This one thing that you need to protect, and it is good for your health, because all the people who do their mindfulness and their meditations and their prayers, they will tell you this one thing, like, baby, you being in that place, in that space where you choose to be quiet and not respond or react to everything, that's a game changer, because it will get under people's skin when they could be over there minding their business, right? They could be over there minding their business, but they're so busy, just trying to rule or run the world. Just leave it alone. It's not for you. So yeah, so if you decide to be an advocate for your health and your wellness, you will know when to say no. Thank you so much, Miles. Hey. And so we worry about people in different parts of the world. Yeah, yoga, especially Goga, especially where a gray is. I'm concerned about that. It's just, it's the world that we're living in. And the powerful thing, that's why pettiness right now, all these internet beefs and everything that's going on, that's not necessary. Collectively, we're going to need to come together and send out good thoughts. We're going to need to send out prayers and good thoughts that people will be safe. Because we have people right now in the Middle East, in different parts of the world. There's one person that I know that lives in one of the tallest buildings in the world. Met her. She's doing some amazing stuff here on Instagram and YouTube. And, she put up a notice that a lot of people have been checking in. I met her briefly and I've been following her and love the work that she's doing. And we're just so concerned. That's the thing, guys. You will need people, even if it's just you have a few minutes to talk to them, whether you've met them in person or not. You will know deep down if they're really good people, if their hearts. And there are some of us who are able to see that. And that's why too, it's like I said, it's be nice to people. You don't know what people are going through. So guys, take care of yourselves. I'm only going to keep this a few minutes because the sun, look at it. Baby. Darlings. Ooh. Pinkies up. So I got a bunch of stuff to do. And I think that anything that we're doing somewhere, when you do your plan for the year, you still have time. We know who's fully in control. I believe that God is fully in control. But yes, there are those of us who will sit with our plans. You still have time to do it, like move into different quarters. What are you looking to attain? And how are you looking to make this world a better place? Because collectively, when you have that calmness inside of you, it does a beautiful thing to the body. Those happy hormones, they're released. All the good things are released in your body because you are choosing a life of, I just want this peace in my life. I just want it, not the pettiness. That's a different kind of pee, right? I don't want the pettiness. I just want that calmness. And if enough of us, if all three of us or 30 of us or 300 or thousands of us get together and we start to just pray or just our thoughts, and we send out good positive vibrations, guys, it's going to make this world a better place because we've done it before. We went through the pandemic, and a lot of people were able to collectively all over the world, we were in one accord. And when you're not in one accord, when you have that one person or those few that try to instigate different things, then you will find, we're not in alignment. But I believe there are enough of us, there are enough people right now, there are enough of us to say, I'm praying, I'm sending out good thoughts, I'm sending for peace, I'm sending out guidance, I'm sending out protection, and all the pettiness and all the other stuff will fall by the wayside. But one of the things too, oh gosh, one of the things I always say, we came here on this planet and we're gonna leave it. That's it. We came here. We don't own any of this stuff. Isn't that something? We don't own any of it because nobody can take it. You could will it to somebody. You could say, okay, that person have it, but none of us own any of it. So my thing right now is about the quality of my life while I'm here, the quality of my community, the quality of people that I meet, the quality of the information that I put out there. It makes a huge difference. So if I already know, say, like, listen, all of this, it don't belong to me. It don't belongs to me. The kids would say, it don't belongs to me. It doesn't belong to me. It doesn't. So what am I going to do in the meantime? And even, when I've worked with patients, I've worked with people, and the question always comes down to this: what's the quality of life? What is the type of life that you want? What does that need to feel like? What does that need to look like? What is it? And that's a serious question that all of us, we have to, we have to ask ourselves. And so then we'll say the small stuff doesn't make any sense. And I always, like today now, I'm just going to listen to some Bob. When I listened to some Bob Marley, Bob was not playing. He was just asking some serious questions. And that's it. We're going to get to a point where we all have to do that. So guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you if you've tapped the screen, whatever you've done. Hey, I really, truly appreciate it, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And I say, live your, as we would say, your best life, but choose who and what you listen to. It says, be careful of whom you speak, to whom you speak, and when and where you speak, because anything that you say can be taken out of proportion, and there's somebody who's always looking out to jump on top of that. So even if you're at work, be very careful. They don't have to know all of your business. You don't have to tell them everything, right? You're there to work. You're not there to make friends, right? They don't have to be up in your house or anything like that. You are going to be a team player. You're doing all of those things. And I'm hoping that this is making sense. Yes, right? I'm a team player. When I go into places and spaces, no, listen, you're the manager, you're the team leader, you're there. What is it that you need me to do? And do I need it to do it a little bit more effectively? Whatever it is. And so when you know the role that you play, there is no power struggle. Okay, there's no power struggle in what you do. You're just very clear. I'm there to work. I'm very pleasant. What do you need me to do? We play the game. I go into the people them job. I do the people them job, and I go about my business, right? So some days we just have to do that. Just do what you need to do and leave it be. And that's when you find out you'll take better care of yourself, because then now you're not so stressed. And your cortisol level won't be so high, and you're taking better care of yourself. I don't know if you do yoga, you pray, you meditate. I'm not here to tell anybody what to do, but then when you start taking better care of yourself in some form of movement, you're going to see your blood pressure isn't as high as it was because you're minding your own business, right? And you're not listening to negativity or letting anybody plant certain things in your ear. Be very careful of that, because there's some folks, they thrive off of that stuff. And so when you notice, you're like, oh, my blood pressure is not as high, right? My blood glucose level is not as high, because stress and all of those things will trigger that. Stress triggers everything, and you're wondering why my blood sugar is high, why my blood pressure is high, because of all the other stuff. There are just already too many things that's going on in this world that we are trying to combat, right? Along with everything else. Okay. And so to take on these little things, we're stressing them. It is not worth it. You are worth taking care of you. You are worth showing up for you. You're worth being that advocate for your health and for your wellness. And, yes, for your family members, and be willing to ask questions. I see a lot of people who come into like even the hospital, they don't ask questions, because they may feel as if, well, this person may know. Ask questions. Go to ChatGPT and say, hey, they're telling me this is what's going on with me. What are some of the questions I should be asking? Okay. And if you don't get that person to answer your question, find someone else. Now, some people say, well, it may not be easy, insurance and all of this and that. But no, they need to spend that time with you. And don't be afraid. Like I said, find out, dig as deep as you can, because guess what? There's so many things people will think that they are not entitled to. And when it's already there for them and just did not know it, because sometimes people don't share, or you may not ask. Sometimes too, you could be as pleasant, and you may have to push back a little bit and ask a little bit more questions, right? Dig a little bit deeper. It will make a difference. I don't care if it's about money. I don't care if it's about your wellness. Whichever way, for everything, there's an answer. And if they don't, they can find somebody who can. So yeah, that's one of the things to just sometimes just ask. Even when I just had a situation that looked impossible. No, that was it. I was feeling a little bit sad about it. And I was like, man, I missed that. How could I let that happen? And the one moment I decided, the same day, I said, no, I'm going to think a new thought. I'm going to say something new. And so I started to speak what I wanted to manifest in my life. And it was like I'm driving, I'm speaking it, I'm praying it, and I'm praying about it. And I'm not begging God. I don't go and say, oh God, you got to give this to me. You have to do this. You have to do that. I'm thanking him in advance, right? I start to thank him in advance for this thing, because at one point they're saying that it was okay, but then I got busy again, and then I'm like, okay, I probably missed it. And let me tell you, I picked up that phone, and this is for somebody who needs to hear it. You may be at the place where you think a no is a no. No, you can push back a little bit. Guess what? Within an hour, maybe 2 hours or something like that, I got a call from the person. They said, did you not get our call? We called you a week ago. Listen, I got a phone system here. I have people who would answer some of my emails. I have all sorts of things going on. And I'm just like, I said, no. She said, I called a week ago and left a message. I said, you did? Because I'm a text kind of girl, I send texts, but anyway, I don't have to tell you all my business, but she was like, the answer is yes. So this is what we're going to do. And it was just like, oh my goodness, that's me telling you without telling you. But when I started to think a little bit different, when I alarm went off, my alarm went off. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, when I started a bit different, when I started to think a little bit different, when my prayers were, that's why I say sometimes people may not know the grace that's on your life. And I was just thankful and grateful that the situation turned around within 2 hours. That call came in. Why? Because I chose not to dwell on the negativity. And so that's why when I think about small-minded people, these small things are a big issue to them. Don't let it get to you. Thank you, Goga, right? What they think about you is none of your business. And that is so true, because so many of us might have spent, so much time worrying about what people thought. Yes, you want to make a good impression. There's nothing wrong with wanting to make a great impression. But then if you're just worried about these people, I always say they have morning breath like everybody else. They have morning breath like everyone else, right? They go to the bathroom like everybody else. Listen, so why should I be intimidated by any particular individual and what they think? It takes a little bit of practicing that to get to that moment. But that's how I am. I'm not going to let these people make me feel as if I don't belong in certain rooms, because I've seen brilliant people, brilliant individuals who even question themselves. Do I belong in this space? Brilliant. I'm talking like PhDs, right? And you don't have to have all of those degrees and whatever to feel that way. But I'm just telling you, all of us, we're brilliant in our own right, how we are created, and we have gifting and we have skills. And to walk into a place and a space and as if you make you question it, and that is a real thing. It is a real thing where there are people who have questioned, do I belong here? The thing is, yes, you do. And it's how you show up in those spaces. If you know your stuff, guys, if you know your stuff, you present it. You present it like how you need to. Oh gosh. I once had somebody who told me that was his thing, to make people feel as if they weren't good enough. And then he would take what they presented and just did the remix on it right in front of their face. So some of you might have experienced that. You're in the boardroom, you just presented something, and okay, maybe it's how you did it. Maybe you look a bit lackadaisical. Maybe you weren't, or you just presented it, and then some person right then and there did the remix on it. Or you might have said something and they did the same thing. Sometimes you just got to check people. There are ways that you could check them in a non-confrontational way. You can check folks, because there are people who thrive off it. They thrive off the fact that they're hoping that you will not say anything. And there are people, I've spoken to those kinds of individuals who will just take it. And one person told me, he said, because I can, and I've done it. And I'm like, dag, if these brilliant people only knew, like, oh my God. And he said, because I can, and I do it. So it's what you allow. Like I said, there are other things that's going on in your life, and your body is going to material, all of that, all of the stress, all of the things that you're keeping inside of you, it turns into other things. It turns into the anxiety, it turns into just, like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. The self-doubt, when in fact it's going to require you to show up so powerful. Man, maybe I'm sounding like I'm a broken record, but it needs to be said. Look at all the thumbs up I got. Guys, thank you all so much. Am I still lagging? Because I don't know. Maybe I need to get an Android. I need to go over to Yoga with Goga. He has his academy over there, folks. Check him out. Listen, I remember when I only had 300 people I didn't even have 300 people. I went on Goga's show, and after that, I was like, oh my God. Joyful Julie, big up to you. I always big up those people because they showed up, they supported, you know, they shared great information. They were not selfish about any of it. And that's the thing, YouTubers, I'm going to tell you. There are people who will show up for you in the clutch, and just continue on to just be supportive of others. Don't take this too serious. Don't let it get to you. Allison. Allison Map. What's up, girl? Allison. I don't know. I need to get me an Android. Sharky. What's up? Sharky Gamer. What up? What up? What up? Thank you for coming in. Listen, I am loving the sun. I'm getting a tan, y'all. Oh, your girl is getting a tan and she's enjoying it. So these are my bat glasses. These are my bat glasses. You see them? The bat glasses. Yeah, I'm in the Batmobile. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So Goga, what you got new going on, Goga? What's new? Goga's over there doing yoga. I'm still trying to get one leg up. I'm still trying to get one leg. I'm still trying to stand on one leg. Hey guys, did you all know that I was going to Ghana in January, but things changed. A lot of things came through for me in January, and I had to make a decision. And I couldn't go, so you know I'm getting the visa, everything for Ghana. Everything was just like send the passport, go get and everything just started. Let me tell you too, guys. Sometimes you're gonna go through things, and it's not gonna last forever. There's a song that say trouble don't last forever. It's not gonna last forever. When your breakthrough comes, it's going to come, like they say, like a Russian flood. And January, for me, just started coming in. It was like the 5th. By day number 5 in January, it was ridiculous, guys. It was on like Donkey Kong, right? When, so corny, I just told my age right there. But you're going to go through a season, and you're not going to be in that space forever. And for me, my breakthrough started just like boom. I was like, oh, I'm supposed to go to Ghana, where I think we're leaving on the 19th. And then an opportunity came up. I needed to go to Jamaica for the medical mission, leaving on the 15th, because then now I couldn't go to Ghana. And there was somebody in this group who said, we're going to Ghana in April, so if you need to come with us, then you could do that. I mean, let me tell you, it may feel like forever, Allison, yes. When you are going through, you don't understand it. For me, it was the menopause, it was grief. It was menopause and grief. Girl, I'm doing a whole thing about that, because that menopause thing is no joke. If you have a mom, an aunt, a sister, a wife, a friend, a female friend and they're acting funny and they're acting like they're cray-cray, you need to know about menopause. Even if you're not married to that person, they're just a friend and they're like the meanest. It's your manager or somebody else, or something is going on with them. That menopause is no joke. Lost my mom in 2022. Then sometimes too, things happen and you really see people for who they are. And then you're really thinking like, oh my God, they never really liked me. Like, oh my goodness. And sometimes too, you know, you're going to be in a season, even if I say an awakening, it's going to be in a season when things are just going to come to fruition for you. Things are going to be so clear. Like the song said, I can see clearly now, right? Thank God I sang off tune, because they copyrighting everything over here. You get a copyright, you get a copyright, you get a copyright, right? So things start to open up for you and you start to see them. And you may not want to come to grips or come to terms with it, but you're going to have to, and release those things and those people and let it go and move on. Queen Goddess 4875, thank you for the beautiful flowers, for you've been telling the truth and facts. I needed this. Subscribe. I thank you so much. Please listen to my latest video. It's only about maybe 9 or 10 minutes because it was laid on my heart to do it. And I can only speak from I have, what I have experienced. And I'm going to say this to you. This beautiful Queen Goddess 4875. If you have a channel, I'm going to come over and say hello. Just watch one of my videos, leave a comment, and I comment. I actually watch and I listen and I respond. Let me tell you something. If there are people that you have honored and they dishonored you, release it. I don't know why I'm saying it, but I think I need to say it, maybe not just for you, but I've been through that. And you've honored them. You've honored them with your time, your energy, and your time is resources. That's money. And you have honored them, and they've gotten the results that they needed, but something inside of them, it's not you. There's something inside of them why they could not honor what you did. They could not honor that you were a part of their journey. They just could not get to the place to say thank you and to realize it. But what they don't know is that they are blocking their blessings. Come on now, somebody. Am I talking to somebody here? Am I talking to somebody up in here? Yeah, they're not realizing that they are blocking their blessings because the moment, and I had to tell a few people, even clients, people that I've worked with, I said, the moment you close the gap, the moment you close the gap and you honor that which was, or that person that was honoring you, if this is making sense, drop a heart, drop a flower. Let me know if this is making sense. If somebody has dishonored you, you honored them, meaning whatever work, whatever was done, or you just showing up, just being a nice, great person, and they could just not say thank you and they dishonor that. That is not your fault, right? It's not your fault. It's them. Making sense, Allison? Thank you. It's not your fault. And so even if you, and I say this much because some of you may not know, but some may know that I deal with a lot of entrepreneurs. And that's one of the things that needed to be taught. And that's one of the things that needed to be learned. Okay, you learn it. You experience it. You learn some of my videos. You'll hear me talk about boundaries. Business boundaries are huge. I'm not your friend. I'm your coach. I'm no, baby, you know, and sometimes too, you have to give people the benefit of the doubt because you may not know. Mitchie Boo, how are you, Mitchie? Oh my God, girl, your last thing that you made the other day with the pineapple and everything was yellow. I'm like, that's for me. Let me tell you something, guys. Let me tell you, yes, and that's one of the things about when I talk about honor. I'm in this new season where I'm studying a little bit more in depth of what I do, right? So I'm taking it to the next level. And I think I was up, Allison, when you were on, and I told Allison I was studying. But the thing is that I've been going deeper into what I know. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Mitchie Boo, I'm just so glad you just jumped on here because everything that we need is already on this planet, guys. Mitchie Boo, if y'all never been to her channel, you mix up she know every fruit, every vegetable, and what it does for the body. And for where I am studying right now, Mitchie Boo, I even thought about you. I can't say too much. But let's just say everything that we need. When you're in, they say homeostasis. If you're a person and you don't take any medications, right? You don't take any meds. For me, I pretty much just take vitamin D. And your girl is decades old. Just went for a physical somewhere and they were like, you're how old? And you don't take any meds? I said, well, I do take vitamin, D3 with K2. And they looked at me like, that's not medication. And that's very important. You guys know I'm always talking about the vitamin D, right? You get it from the sun, not through the glass, you get it. But our food, the food that's on this planet, let me fix my glasses. Let me clear my throat. Yeah, Allison, check out Mitchie Boo, because I see you there blending. And when I went on a juice fast on Mitchie Boo, my skin, everything just lit up. And we're going back into that space. But everything that we need, every fruit, every vegetable, every plant, it's on this planet for a reason. And the more that I study, when you're taking certain things, you cannot eat certain fruits and certain vegetables because those fruits and those vegetables do the thing that you were prescribed to take, that thing. And this is not medical advice. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm just saying, if you can read between the lines, you're Allison Mapp, you're juicing, you better understand where every one of those, what every one of those fruits do. When you start going into that, you're going to be like, what? Excuse me. You'll see. And then it makes you start to think like, my God, everything we need is already here. And so we have to come into alignment with that. Everything that we need is already here. Yes, look them up. No, and it's not in a bad way. You're just, I'm sure, Allison, that you're like, oh my God, wow. Isn't it amazing when you find out what a particular fruit does and how it enhances things in your body? Isn't it amazing in a good way? Right? And then you understand when you use it, how you use it. And I was like, wow, so that's how my grandma could go in the backyard and pick some stuff. Oh, this is bothering me. They would go in the backyard, they would pick something from a tree and they would pick it. And then they know what was, I was like, sometimes I'm like, how did I know that? You know? And now when you study it and you go deeper into it, you're like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, right? So that's the beautiful thing about it. Tester, absolutely every single compound that exists with minimum side effects has come from nature. Tester count 1568. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, guys. And if you all haven't subscribed, please do, because we're taking things to the next level on this channel. I will say as much as I can. But it all begins with us, inside of us, because the mind, right? From the brain all the way up, from here. When they say from the crown of your head down to the sole of your feet, it makes so much sense. And if you understand the connection, when they say the mind, body, and soul, the connection, it is so true. So that's why I just love the people, and it's a gifting because there's some people that some of you might have experienced this, like when you're in a space of a dream kind of wake phase. Have you ever been in a phase like you're not really sleeping, but you're not really awake? But that's when all the great stuff comes to you. In my phone, in the notes section of my phone, I have quotes that came, and there's some of them like, no, I'm going to remember it. This is so good. I'm going to remember. I'm not getting it up. I'm not getting up. Sometimes I try to type it or I try to talk it into the phone. That's the divine download. Many of you, God has been giving you the divine download, and I'm telling you, it will change everything in your life. The moment you are in tune with the divine download, guys, I'm telling you, in the notes section of my phone, I have a section that say my quotes. And then God could just give me a one-liner. And there's some people, I know they watch my videos. There's a lot of them now. YouTube, what was it, the Facebook one? It cleared all the videos. I would just have people just watch my stuff. And they were like, wow, because they were divine downloads. And I used to go live on Clubhouse. So I used to be on like 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And sometimes it's right around 3:46. There's a 3:43. There's a divine time that the download. So I would go live and I would just let it go like that. like that. And if I were to tell you the people that I connected with, and most of them I spoke, and they were it was a nursing group, and I used to be a night nurse, so I know what time we would take our break. I know what time we're going to the break room. I know when they're going down to the snack machine, because I was a night nurse. I would just talk to them, and they're like, how did you know? Like, I did that. But Alice, yes, I'm looking after my breakfast. Oh yes, Michibu is in Australia. Yeah, penicillin is from a mold. Digoxin, which is heart med, is from a plant. Oh yes, and that's why certain and digoxin, it increases the contractility of the heart. See, that's how I remember that. And then you have to know your digoxin level, because you don't want to get in a toxic state of it. So there are certain foods, and everything we need is already here. Oh my God. Listen, Tester, you're going to let us talk it all out. I don't want them to shut me down. Woo, baby. Right? And I love a grapefruit. And y'all know why they'll tell you can't eat a grapefruit, right? They'll tell you why you can't eat a grapefruit. I don't give medical advice here. I just eat what I love and talk about what I love. You guys get it, right? So they're just so many things. Oh gosh, and I have people that I worked with who are into holistic medicine, functional medicine, and it has gotten to the point that some places now they have to incorporate it because people are looking for that. But you got to be an advocate for you, an advocate for yourself, an advocate for your wellness, an advocate for your peace of mind. Like I said, just be careful of what people bring in and what they try to drop little hints, subliminally. That's being done all the time. It's called public relations. It's called marketing. For those who have done it, we understand marketing. We understand it. So when there's some people who are trying to do it, but you gotta be a little classy about how you do some things. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. Some people there's just a way of being and just showing up, and the fear is one of the things that can wreak havoc on your body. Fear can do that. Fear will do it. And we just went through about 5 years ago, a season off where many of us experienced that, the fear and what it started to do and how the body reacted to it. And so that's why I'm saying what we take in, it's very important that we are aware of it. It's important that, what we listen to, even when you think you're sleeping, that's seeping in. You're still hearing it. So when I go to sleep, there's certain people that I will play. I'll play their videos or their music. Lyrics by Nitya. When I study, I actually play some of her music. She has great study in music. I talk about wisdom sparks. Prayer is good. So girl, thank you for helping with my cortisol level, because it helps to lower that. Read some peer review articles. There's nobody I can quote it from right now, but you can do things to lower that. And so those prayers and what's being said, it helps you. Wisdom Sparks Motivation, check her out. Relax with Melissa, Relax with Mel. She plays she has some nice music over there. Or she'll do some little diamond thingies that she put together. And if I'm on the treadmill, I'm going to watch her. Yeah, I told you about It's Marvella. There's some really great people who are out here. Allison is there. Allison Mapp on the lunch hour. VC, vibing with VC in Jamaica. When I feel homesick, she goes, vibe. VC, I just saw you with them cute glasses, girl. But sometimes I'm driving. I listen to that. The Diary by Casey. There are some really great, some cool people on here. Cassie Kitchen's creation. She just did a great video. I felt that video was for me. Cassie. It was Cassie Kitchen Creations with a K on how to get organized before you start baking. So I do things, guys, do things that makes you feel good. You don't have to be forced to do anything. I want to get my fruits on. I'm going to watch Mitchie Boo. Yes, Mitchie Boo, Allison, help this, looking after her breakfast. Oh, hold on. Let me see. There were more things here. Let's see who else is here saying what. Don't know about a divine download, but every great epiphany I've had has come from let curiosity follow God leads. Yes, and that's the same. To me, I call that epiphany, I call it a divine download. That epiphany is just like, down, like what? Okay, all right, we're gonna do this. Okay, God. Oh, how come I didn't know this? Just recently, I wrote about 6 or 7 songs in one day within a space of hours because what happened left me so vulnerable that I wrote these songs. I wrote them, and I think I did release 2 of them here, but I had to keep them. I could not release them without I go and get them protected, copywritten, or whatever I need to do with them, all that other stuff, right? Because that came in a space of vulnerability. And when it came, that I call it the divine download, right? And I wrote those, and somebody said to me, "You wrote those? Like how?" I said, "I don't know. It's what I felt." And I felt everything in my being with those songs that I wrote. Some were funny, some were good, some were, you know, right? And so when those things happen for me, that's what I call it. They're things that I've written. They're people that I've worked with that what I've gotten, it's for them. Some people say, why don't you do that for yourself? I said, no, because what's for you is for you. And one has to be able to operate in integrity, especially when you were working with other gifted people. There are things too, when you have, like you said, that epiphany, even for their business and how they show up and how you show up for them. I can't use that for me because it's not for me. And so when we all understand that there's room enough for all of us, that what God has downloaded in our spirits, it's for us. That thing, that one book that you could write, that you could turn into a course, you could turn it into a program, you could turn it into a documentary, you could turn it into quotes, you could turn it into so many things. You could, I've had that happen to me. That one thing, sometimes it was just a slogan that became a company, that became something. I'm like, oh my goodness, oh my God, So yes, like you said, let the curiosity and follow God's lead, because it will lead you down like, really, I can do this. And then everything you need and everybody. And, the prayer that I pray, people that I've never met is working on your behalf. People in the banks that are going to say yes to me. Happened, right? People I've never met. So when you say those prayers and you prayed over yourself and you prayed over the people, you prayed over your clients or your patients or whatever, you're speaking those things. That's why words are so powerful, because there are people who are using words as word curse. Don't let me get started up in here, because I got some stuff to take care of. And so when, those little subliminal messages, people have to be clear on that, because there are those of us who can see it for what it is. And it just, it's just classless to me. So guys, thank you all for being here. Y'all got me worked up for a minute there. K-I. Yes, be careful of your words. Yeah, be careful of them, and be careful of what people try also to plant into you, because there are things, there are those of us, especially if you're a praying person, especially if you pray and you fast, all them little isms and schisms, games, you just see through them. It's almost like you could hear their minds, the way that they think, but they don't understand the grace that's upon you. I spoke about that. The grace that's upon your life, some people may not understand it. What am I yapping about? Yeah, well, it's done. Now you're going to have to go to the replay. The grace that's upon your life, some folks may not understand it. You want to say talking? I got my, what's this here? I got my knapsack. I got things to do, places to go, people to see, and some Jimmy to jam. Listen, guys, if this had, and that's not my quote, this somebody on New York radio used to say that, so that's not mine. If this has just inspired you in any way, come back to the replay. There's my most recent video. Go over to the video and protect this one thing, and it will protect your mind, your body, your soul, and your spirit. Just protect this one thing. This one thing, it will create a domino effect in your life, and you will see the difference. I'm about to do one of those Allison map. You know, Allison, when you go walking out, Allison was like, yeah. Allison is like, yeah, I'm getting ready to, Allison will be like, yeah, I'm getting ready to go have lunch. Allison is like, it's almost over. Why are you there? Where's the water behind you? Guys, it's the golden hour. You know what happens then, right? If I'd stayed or started a little bit longer, it would have been, you would see when the sky gets really orange. But check out the video. I did a live with Salmon's, or is it Salmon's? Yeah. There, some people say salmon. I don't know if it's salmon, but I heard it used to be pronounced that way. Anyway, let your girl get ready to get up out of here. Hopefully you guys have an amazing week. Thank you all for being here. It's been good. It's been great. Yeah, girl, I got some stuff to take care of. I got some stuff that may need to get published. So let's start working on it. That's why I tell folks, people will think that YouTube is our lives, right? When we got other stuff. We got other stuff going on. We have other stuff. Last time you guys saw me, where was I? In Jamaica? When I turn on my camera again, you don't know where I'm going to be because I never usually tell y'all. Where were we the last time also? Japan? Yeah, we were in Japan. But we're sending out prayers of peace to people who are we don't want them in harm's way. We want them to be safe. Let's send out prayers for world peace. If I pray for it and you pray for it, it's going to shift and move the atmosphere, and we all can do this. All right? So thank you all so much. Make a book? I have a couple of books. Yeah. New York, Japan, Jamaica. Wait till the next one. Hey, if they didn't start with this foolishness, I would have been somewhere else. Okay, here we go. All right, guys. Take care. Bye.